Courage, rebellion, risk are all at the heart of Banksy's success and Banksy's work. Taking chances, critical encounters are all important components here. Banksy's work, the essence of the work of a street artist, involves a lot of courage and a lot of risk, right? Because in some sense, you are challenging the law, you are sort of vandalizing public spaces. So there is the inherent courage in it. And courage usually is rewarded, right? No risk, no return, high risk, high return sometimes. And we have to remember that. In addition to his work on street art, to the timeliness, and when we talk about critical encounters, you have to have the courage at the right moment in time, right? So the timeliness of some of these works related to a certain social trend, a certain political event, a certain health epidemic, whatever happens. But Banksy also, in addition to the regular courage involved with street art, he had courage in other initiatives, right? Other initiatives that were somehow too controversial. We'll see some of these things. The painted elephant ruining his own painting. We'll see some of these. But he also is well known for smuggling pieces of his own art into museums, right? He has smuggled art into the British Museum, the Tate, the Louvre, and the Museum of Modern Art. And this kind of reflects that courage, that willingness to take a lot of risk. It is important to notice here that this courage is directed in a certain direction. So Banksy is anti-establishment, anti-consumerism, anti-surveillance, and anti-art markets. This is reflected through many of his works, his depiction of cops, of shopping carts. There is this painting, I can't believe you guys buy this. And so here, in doing all this and in being against the market in general, there is a very interesting duality, a very interesting paradox. So Banksy is against consumerism, right? In a sense, he is against this all-pervading power of the market. But Banksy's success itself can be attributed to the market and the market's dynamics. So in a sense, you can be against the market, against the negative outcomes of the market. But eventually, you have to learn about the market and you have to use the market. Banksy, through the many works that he creates, depicts a very important component of planning, vision, and intent, which is using multiplicity, plurality, and consistency. So there is a sense of repetition, of accumulation. These works of art that have similarities, that repeat, that appear in new places every period of time, they reflect a coherent, consistent image, right? The consistency in the style, which is something we will talk about too, leads to this sort of accumulation of familiarity, accumulation of impact, accumulation of a fan base that with time becomes success and becomes great creativeness. We have to link that to being the voice of the people. And in our age, in our digital media, in our social media age, everyone wants to express themselves, but not everyone has the tools to express themselves. And this is where works like the works of Banksy come into the picture. Ourselves, the way we express ourselves is by curating, by accumulating a set of images, words, quotes, statements, and publish that on our social media profile. And this collection, this aggregation of things becomes us. In a sense, our personality is this mosaic, is this collection of bytes. And so Banksy provides many of these colorful pieces that everybody likes to add to their personality, right? He is my voice. He said the thing that I wanted to say, only better. So I will add that to my own big image, to my own big picture. Here we can reflect on one statement, which is art should make you uncomfortable. And in a sense, Banksy's works can make you uncomfortable, right? Napalm Girl can make you uncomfortable. Many of his images create this sense of discomfort or uneasiness. But I would argue that on a deeper level, it kind of makes us comfortable because it lets us convince ourselves that, we are part of this big, great cause and we share that image. And he said what I wanted to say and he expresses my beliefs. And on a more deeper, on a more nuanced level, it kind of makes us comfortable by giving us these tools of self-expression and these tools of belonging to a bigger current, to a bigger direction of We can be part of the market, we can be part of the establishment, but we still share these images, love these images, and like these images because they kind of express a deeper feeling that we harbor.